Well, howdy, my name's Justin. I'm one of the pastors here at Canaan Webster Groves, and we started back in September of 2023. But our story here didn't start then. It actually started about 60 years ahead of that time. The building that I'm standing in started in the 50s and was Sherwood Baptist Church in a little white chapel right out that way. And that church loved Jesus and loved the Bible, and they grew and they flourished in the Webster Groves community. So much so that about 4 years later, they had to build the building that I'm standing in, and they were running in the 200s. And it was incredible. People were being saved and baptized. And then the 90s happened, and they had a leadership change, and the church went from running in the 200s to not. And they had another pastor come in the early 2010s named Bob Bickford, and he did an incredible job here. They were back. They were healthy. They were reaching their communities, and COVID happened. And that's where my story with Sherwood, that started back in the 50s and 60s, became a story of one church. I started pulpit supplying here in March of 2023. And what I remember my first Sunday here was about 12 people and 4 children. Two of them were mine, and two of them were one of our other elders. And I was 4 of my family were the 12 folks that were here. For the first about 3 months, a good day was 15, and that was just what we were. There was about 6 to 8 of us that had come over from Canaan in South County in the Oakville area, and there was about 12 folks left from the Sherwoods or the Groves. But of course, it's a church, no one's here all the time at the same time. And by the grace of the Lord, and through partnership with the North American Mission Board and St. Louis Metro and Canaan, we replanted the Groves, replanted Sherwood Baptist Church here in this building in Webster Groves, Missouri on Big Bend on September 17th of 2023. And it's just been a story of the grace and goodness of the Lord. We just celebrated Easter, like all of us just celebrated Easter. And we went from having 15 on a good day with 4 children to we had over 30 kids in our children's ministry on Easter. We had 102 people join us to worship and celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. And it's just been an incredible joy and honor to be a baton holder of the story of proclaiming Jesus in this building and in this community. And I'll end with this story. We have one sweet lady. Her name's Miss Dottie. She's been here since they put a shovel in the ground in the 50s. She'll turn 101 later this month. And at her 100th birthday, this last May, she came up to me out of her party with tears in her eyes. And I said, Miss Dottie, what's wrong? And she looked at me and she said, Pastor, I didn't think our church had a future. And I really didn't think I'd ever see this church full again. And I definitely didn't think I'd ever see children running around and learning about Jesus. And I'm ready to meet him because I've seen all those things come true. And so I just can't express my gratitude and shock at what the Lord's done through partnerships here in the region, and what he's done in the lives of people and what he's keeping doing. And so thank you for your prayers. Thank you for being a part of this story with us and holding the baton in our chapter of being faithful with the good news of Jesus.